So, Gen V episode 4 came out yesterday, and let me tell you, I love this show so much. Uh, this episode, I think, was just as good as the last three episodes. This episode was so great because it kept the story rolling forward. It answered questions from last week's entries, and it gave us some new ones. It's like we've been left with a big mystery at the end of this episode as well. So it's like, what the hell is going on now? What are we doing? Why the fuck did that just happen? But yeah, and obviously in typical boys fashion, there is a beautiful gore. Of course, I am talking about the cock explosion. It was fucking gross, but I loved it. Marie seems to be finding out new things about her powers and herself this episode. She went from like my least favourite character in last week's entry to, I liked the character, but she was definitely my least favourite character out of the main group, even though she's the main character. She was definitely my least favourite character out of the group, but I liked her, at least. And yeah, she's just, she's getting up there now. With this week's entry, she's doing a bit more, she's opening up a bit more, and yeah, she's really coming to actually be the lead of this show. Obviously her and Jordan's relationship in this episode was, I wouldn't say at the forefront, but it was a presence, and I actually really liked their relationship. I didn't even think about pairing these two characters up. It seemed like they really hated each other, but turns out they're quite like each other, I suppose. And this, pairing Jordan and Marie kind of made me like Jordan a bit more as well. I did like Jordan last week. Very cool concept of a character, I suppose, and powers changing when you change your gender and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so I thought they had pretty good chemistry together, and I think they worked well together. But let me tell you right now, they had nothing on Sam and Emma. Them two in this episode was fantastic. The chemistry both these actors have is wow. It is so good, the chemistry they have. I'm trying to think of other comic book properties where the chemistry is supposed to be like really good with other people. I'm maybe thinking of like Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone in the Spider-Man films. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 weren't great, but them two worked really well together. Really well together. The only other thing I could think of is maybe Vanessa and Wade in Deadpool. Thought them two worked pretty well as well. But Sam and Emma, the best scenes in this episode was just them two sitting down, talking. And it's like, I know it's got naught to do with it, but it kind of took me back to Daredevil Season 2, when some of the best scenes in Daredevil Season 2 was just Frank and Daredevil just talking on that rooftop. Because they are real people. You really think these are real people, and they're having real conversations, and they're joking around. How me and my friends would joke around, saying sick, gross stuff to each other, and obviously it's clearly a joke, but it's funny and it's quite heartfelt. And the moment he thinks that he's gonna lose Emma next and goes crazy, well, already is crazy, but when he thinks he's gonna lose Emma, and that side of him shows, and he runs off to the doctor's house, and oh my god, yeah, no. And Emma's still my favourite character in this show right now, at least. She's by far the most interesting character in the show. And MVP at the end as well. But I love the whole cast as a whole. But speaking of the cast, we get a new addition this week, and that's Tech Knight, played by Derek Wilson. I haven't seen anything this man's been in apart from Birds of Prey, but I don't remember Birds of Prey, and never mind remembering him in it, but he was fucking great as Tech Knight. If you rewatch the episode, you can kind of see little hints, and a little bit of foreshadowing to do with the whole truth, if you know what I mean. Basically, this man just wants to stick his cock in any hole he sees. And I don't mean in a metaphorical sense of like, oh, lad, any hole's the gold. No, I mean literally any hole. I'm trying to give an example right now. This, on these scissors. I mean, it's a bit small, but he'd try. Yeah, no, Tech Knight was fucking great in this episode. They kind of deviated a bit from the comics. Like the only thing they kept from him from the comics is that he wants to stick his cock in any hole he sees. But in the comics, he's kind of like a Batman, Iron Man sort of hybrid mix. But in the show, they've made him like a Sherlock Holmes detective, and he just puts people in the hot seat. His powers are so interesting that he just breaks people. He looks at him. He's like when he's interrogating Marie, and then eyes dilating, pupil dilation, sign of lying, heartbeat racing, and he can just deduce stuff from these signs. You know, these telling signs on the human body. He was such a interesting character. Sitting, you know, and the joke about him, you know, sticking his cock in anything might seem a little bit stupid to some people who's not very familiar with the Boys universe. This is so in line with what the Boys is. You know, I kind of want him to meet the Deep, and I mean, let's be honest, he's probably already met the Deep. This is how this world works. But I really want to see an interaction with Tech Knight and the Deep. The Deep with his octopus and Tech Knight with his bagel. I think that'd be an interesting scene. I don't know why I want to see that, but yeah. But you know, the end of this episode, it was great as well. You know, the whole gang comes together to try and stop Sam. They show up at the doctor's house because Sam's going to try and kill the doctor because he thinks he's going to take Emma away from him and stop him from seeing Emma. But the whole gang shows up there. Gen V assemble, I suppose. They're all trying to stop Sam. He's way too strong for him. And then, what's Emma go and do? She goes and eats Mum's spaghetti, and it gets really big. Pins him down, tries to calm him down. I think it kind of works. But then, the interesting part of this episode is Marie speaking to Sam, and then she just cuts to waking up next to Jordan. I don't know what's going on here. I know there was a trailer at the end of episode 4 for episode 5. Obviously, it won't be for episode 6. That's not how it works. For episode 5, and it kind of seems like it's happening to the whole group, that big parts of their memory are just going missing. So I'm very interested to see what happens there. But yeah, overall, I love this episode. I think it's a worthy entry to the Boys universe so far, this show. You know, it's got an amazing 4 episodes right now. It's got another 4 to come. I think it can knock it out of the park, and yeah, I'm excited to see some of these characters cross over into the Boys. Maybe some characters from the Boys might appear in Gen V, which they have already. You know, we've had A-Train, Ashley, the director of Dawn of the Seven. I can't quite remember his name, but these universes are already quite connected. I want to see more of it. I'm really pumped for next week's episode. So, yeah, I'm really liking Fridays at the moment. Loki, Gen V, Continental's over. Thank God. But let me know what you thought of the episode. Right down here. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I want to know. Let me know what you guys thought of it, because that's why I'm doing this. I just like hearing what people think. Even if your opinion don't align with mine, that is completely fine. Also, like the video, subscribe. We are on 59 subscribers. Get us to 60. We can do it. Come on. All you got to do is just give that button a little tickle. Otherwise, there'll be cock explosion everywhere. So, yeah, see you guys in the next video. I might do a video tomorrow, who knows, depends how I'm feeling. Yeah, I might have an amazing idea. Probably not, though. I'm not that creative. But see you guys later.